Hello there, Charles. How are you? Thank you for joining me on tonight. Hello there, Haka. How are you? She said, I so needed this live right now. You know what? I am so glad. Danielle, hello there, narrator. How are you? You know, Haka, I'm so glad that we are here for you then. And I pray that you would get strength out of this. Thank you for your help. You are so welcome, Charles. How is everyone doing? I am so glad to have you on. I am going to be on Clubhouse. So if you have Clubhouse, join me in Clubhouse. Helen Sattler, Destiny Hepper, join me in Clubhouse. I am on Clubhouse right now. So join me in Clubhouse. There you go. Let me get in the stronger signal. There you go. There you go. I am on Clubhouse. So if you have Clubhouse, join me on Clubhouse. Great. Who do we have?
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning, daughter. How are you?
I'm okay.
Great.
Something.
I know. I am so glad that you're on board. We got DeMarcus on board. Thank you so much for joining me. Those of you who want to join me on Clubhouse, please join me on Clubhouse. Thank you so much. If you have Clubhouse, join me on Clubhouse. Danielle and I and DeMarcus are on Clubhouse. Hey, Kenyan boss lady, how are you? Hello, Christine. How are you, Christine? I know you are on Clubhouse. So join me on Clubhouse. Raquel, Cynthia, how are you? Thank you for joining me. So join me on Clubhouse. I would love to be able to talk to you and to hear your voice. It would be most exciting on today. We're waiting for a few more people to come in, and then we are going to get started. We are going to get started. So thank you for joining me. Hello, everyone. We're going to talk about a subject, and many of you have just emailed me, wrote me on this subject that we're going to deal with. Yes, Christina, why don't you join me on Clubhouse also? There you go. Yeah, we're going to deal with some serious issues, and the issue, and when the narcissists want to drive you insane, one of their favorite things to use is they want to use gaslighting. There's nothing stronger than gaslighting. Kathy, would you give me my other iPad? And when they use gaslighting, it is to cause you to be mentally unstable, mentally unfocused, very unsure of yourself, and they tap in against your confidence. They don't want you to be confident of who you are. Hey, Raquel, everyone, greeting everyone. Thank you so much. I haven't been checking my DM. Oh, okay, she's responding to someone. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about when you are gaslighted and you know for a certainty that what you have seen or what you know is for sure, but the narcissist will cause you to doubt yourself, and they will come up against you and make you think that everything that you're saying is wrong, when the truth of it is Everything that you're saying is absolutely right. That what you have seen them do, they're doing. What you said was going on is going on. And the narcissists want you to feel unstable. They want you to feel that you're losing your mind. And a lot of times they do this because they're getting ready to get you into a devaluation situation and trauma bond it. When they trauma bond you, they set you up for failure. That's what the narcissist does. So let's talk about gaslighting. Many of you said that this was the number one thing that you were going through and you wanted to know about gaslighting. What can you do for it? So let's talk about it. Christina, you are pretty skilled in a lot of situations that is going on. Who wants to start the conversation? She said gaslighting is just a horrible thing. Christina, it is. It is very, 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 very detrimental because you talking about a display. It is actually brainwashing. The narcissist brainwash you to think that you're out of your mind. And after a while, if you listen to them, you would doubt everything about yourself. You would doubt your parenting skills. You would doubt who you are. You would doubt the people around you. As a matter of fact, when people come around you, you will start to isolate yourself because you no longer trust yourself. Then you start trusting the predator. You start trusting what the narcissist said. And you are absolutely right. Christina Hakov said, I haven't been checking my DM, so I didn't see it. But thank you so much, and I will definitely check it out. Okay, that's Christina. All right. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about it when the narcissist comes in and make you feel that something is wrong. And usually as you get stronger and the narcissists know you're getting stronger, what the narcissists do, the stronger you are, the more the narcissist attack. DeMarcus. Yes, DeMarcus, do you have a question? There you go.
Yeah, can you? I was trying to invite my mom, but it's not allowing her to come in.
Oh, okay. She's on. Tell her to try again to come in, DeMarcus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
tell her to try again. She should be able to come in.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Many people through gaslighting, the longer you stay with the narcissist, gaslighting can be very dangerous. A lot of people underestimate gaslighting because they think they can handle it. But the narcissists know what they're doing. And what the narcissist does is the longer you stay in that situation, the more insecure you get in that situation. And Lavada said, narcissists, they hung up, the narcissist hung up the phone on me yesterday, tired of being disrespected, going no contact, raising my trap baby the best way I can without him till he takes me to court for visitation. I choose peace. Absolutely. And I'll tell everyone, there's a young lady, her name is Rebecca Zong. And when you talk about court cases, she's one of the number one person that I recommend for courts. She is a number one divorce lawyer, and she specialized in narcissist case because when you go to court, you need some instructions because the narcissist is going to get the worst lawyer they can find. And a lot of time what the narcissist does is they get a lawyer that's going to go around in circles until you spend up all of your money. And then when you spend up all your money, they hit you hard below the belt. She said, I think gaslighting is witchcraft and demonic tactics to steal your mind and soul. It is to control. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. Charles said, I divorced a year ago. Yes, and he's excited. You were free a year ago. So Charles, do you have children with them? Do you have children with them, Charles? Do you have children with them? Because parent alienation is really tremendous. She's a gaslighting is witchcraft because it's lying. Yes, and it's deceitfulness at the highest level. That's why it's a source of brainwashing. They wash your mind to think something is happening that is not happening. And they keep convincing you that it is. And if you notice that once you get into gaslighting, once they gaslight you, the first thing they want to do is hello there, Ruth. How are you? Thank you for joining us on Clubhouse. When they gaslight you, the first thing they want to do is isolate you. They don't want anybody speaking into you because the person speaking into you will tell you that's not true. And so what they would try to do is win them over, especially your covert narcissist, which is very, very, very charming. Your covert narcissist can be charming. Even your psychopathic narcissist like Ted Bundy, very, very cordial, very handsome, said a lot of women, and he was very nice, very charming, but he was deadly, very fatal. Kenyan boss lady says spiritual warfare, absolutely. So, Charles, you have 11-year-old, so you have to do visitations. Is the child in your hands or in her custody? She said, thank you so much, Danielle, for welcoming everyone. I am on Clubhouse, so if you want to join me on Clubhouse, please feel free to join me on Clubhouse. And that way we have audio. We can actually hear you talking. I have the sound up where everybody can hear everybody. Thank you, DeMarcus. DeMarcus, keep trying to get Angela. So gaslighting is a mind stimulus the wrong way. It's walking backward the wrong way. And it's walking at high speed. And when the narcissists get you by yourself, if you put something down, oh, she lives with you. Good job. You know, that is a rarity because most of the time they fight you in court. Lavada said, my kid father doesn't like courts and refused to go because he's scared of child support because he's already has 6 other kids. He lied about not having before before we had our children. You know, if you got the right information, it doesn't matter if he lies. If he got a job, unless he's working under the table, you can get him. If you have his social security number, you can get him. You don't even need his address. Just make sure you got the social security number. They will find him. She agreed to my terms. You know what, Charles? You are a very fortunate and blessed man because out of all the cases, this is a rare case. There are some cases where the narcissists agree to let the child go because they discard the child, they discard the parent, they don't want anything to do with either one. But most of them, even if they don't want the child, they want to hurt the other parent. They fight in court for a child they don't want, and then once they win, they give the child to the mother or to the cousin, but they don't want to keep the child. So, Charles, you are very, very blessed. Sandra says, she said NID see him on vid, whatever that is. She said that he smiles a lot and say he loves me. It's been 3 years test now. She said, how can I tell if he's one, if he doesn't get married, get mad till I push him a lot. She cusses then, and he's very smart. Yes, he's in Nigeria. Let me tell you something. A narcissist is a personality disorder. It's not a chemical disorder. It's not an emotional disorder. It's a personality. The personality, if you take away the last part of the word, this person is them, is their core, it's the core essence. And the core essence is what they're going to operate out of. And that's why they tell you narcissist does not change. Narcissists keep who they are because they're that way to the core. And even if they try to change, they don't. They always go back to their core behavior. even the narcissists that attempt to make a change, if they don't stay where the change has been bona fide, they always go back to what they know. And what they know and what they need is fuel. And a narcissist that try to correct something for their own selfishness, because every time a narcissist does something, they're going to do it and they get a stimulus because it's something they want. It's something they need, not something you need. Even a narcissist that try to change stays selfish. That everything is centered around them. And the first time they get angry, they go back to their root core. She said it doesn't matter the nationality. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter the nationality. It doesn't matter the nationality. It doesn't matter the economic status. They just, when they got more money, they can do more things that they want to do. And culturally, that selfishness, if you notice, if you meet a person that it lives in China, I get all kind of letters. And when I get all kind of letters, I get them from China, I get them from Palestine, I get them from Germany. The same core root, even though there's different personalities and they have different environments, which is going to bring out different things, and they have different cultures, which is going to cause the mirroring to be different. The pattern of NPD is the same. That's why they tell you the 9 traits, because out of all these nationalities, all of these cultures, all of these economic bases, you're going to get your core out of that. Those of you who are on Clubhouse, if you have any question at any time, please feel free to raise your hand. Miss Henry said the ex-narc went to my old job asking where I was promoted to, and I was shocked because that fool is the laziest person I know. She said no contact, block ministries. Oh, you have the religious one. The religious one is really something, because I mean they will give up everything. They're not giving up for good. They're giving up because they don't want people to criticize them. They don't want people to know. Like one they'll give up drinking. They give up drinking because it's hard to hide drunkenness. And a lot of them will even go to rehab if they think in public they're going to make an embarrassment of themselves. So they'll go to rehab, but they won't stop cheating. They won't stop lying. They won't stop gaslighting. They won't stop devaluing you. Then they go to discard. Every narcissist will discard. Everyone is written in the code, is written in the DNA. And every narcissist, if you notice, use gaslighting. They are habitual liars, and they gaslight you because they need you to doubt yourself. A narcissist that does not, you begin to see them, and when the mask come off, they're totally embarrassed, and you can cause all kind of injuries. So what they do is make sure you lose your footing, and that way you are more submissive and they get less injury. Christina say, can't find the clubhouse room. She said, it's not in my hallway and the room is under club group. Is it perhaps a private? No, it's not a private room. It's not a private room. Just go under Helen Sattler. Look for Destiny Helper. Look for Destiny Helper, Christina. I'm right there. Yes, I'm right there under Destiny Helper. Hello there, Miko. How are you? Thank you for joining me, Camilla. Greetings to you also. Sandra says, she said, thank you. He's messy. He must be religious. She said, one or a combo. Yeah. She said, take videos if he's singing in church. When he think I did wrong, say shame on you. And I think he was shamed as a kid. Probably was, because they usually tell off on themselves. What they accuse you of, 9 times out of 10, they're doing it. If they accuse you of cheating, they're cheating. If they say you a liar, they know they're lying all the time. You got to remember, a narcissist is a mirror, and they reflect, and they don't have their own personality. They gain personality from all of the people that they have been with, because that's why they seem so robotic or almost like an android. but then they get around people, they pick up personality traits, and that's why they're so charming. They learn to be charming because they learn this from you. They learn what you lack like because they reflect the image of who you are back to you in order to win you, because they can't do it on their own. She said, Mom, is Clubhouse Room open to everyone? Oh yes, it is. It's open to everyone. Yeah, it's not a private room. It's not a private room. Demarcus, did you have any problem coming through? Um, Let me get there you go. Ruth, did you have a problem coming to the clubhouse? Or were you able to come right on?
No.
Ruth had no problem coming through, so it's not a private room. It didn't stay private room, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just come on, just look for Destiny Helper and come right on. She said, I don't want child support or anything. I just want to go with my life, raise my baby in peace. She said, we never lived together. He pretend to want a child to set my life back on purpose because he's a liar. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a form of gaslighting. And what he would do is say that I only did it because you wanted. If you have never told me and you don't say you didn't tell him, or he'll say that you told me that you wanted a child to keep our relationship, or a child would make things better. And then he'll come back and say, I didn't say that. So you got to know that when the narcissist is talking, 9 times out of 10, you got to find the lie. Hello, Ernestine. How are you? Thank you for joining me on today. I really appreciate it. And you know, gaslighting is like being in a room and you're taping the same voice. And it's like a repetitive cycle. If you take a person and put a person in a room, hello there, Trisha. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining me on today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you put a person in the room and you do a tape recorder, just make sure all of you, there you go, mute your phones. If you do a tape recorder and you are in the room for 48 hours, this tape recorder is going over and over and over and over and over. It's a repetitive cycle. When they take you out of that room, you've been in that room for 48 hours, and they take you out of that room for a week. Even though you only been in that room for 48 hours, your brain would keep modulating the repetition of what it heard for 48 hours. It takes more to get out of your mind what the narcissist put in than for you to operate your regular mind. For every negative word, it takes 13 to 15 words to overthrow one negative word. So you can imagine if you spend years with the narcissist and the narcissist is talking to you, telling you who you are, telling you who you're not, telling you what you're going to do. What it takes to overthrow that is a lot of years. That's why recovery can take more years than the actual abuse, because we're doing 13 to 15 words of positive toward that one negative word. And your brain is like a sponge. It would absorb all that. Jasmine said, I remember being with a religious narc and he was always singing. She said in church, she said, always charming and helping the community. Everyone was trying to rush me to get married and kids. She said, and I don't have any kids because they're charming. They are charming. Narcissist does everything in quick speed. They do everything before the mask fall off, because the narcissists know once the mask come off, it's going to be very difficult, because they have been in other relationships that didn't work and it was total abuse. Phyllis said the smear campaign backfire. She said, I remain silent, no contact. She said, now everyone no longer deals with the narc. He relocated to Mississippi. His enemies ran him out of town, which is a blessing. So they were able to see him. Usually the overt narcissists tail off on themselves. The covert narcissist is very charming, but the overt narcissists, they are very robust and they can't keep cool. They always they express themselves. They are very rude, and the moment they get offended, they have to express themselves. The sociopath, the psychopath, and the covert narcissist is low key, or the altruistic narcissist. The altruistic narcissist is usually the one that like to work in nursing home, hospitals. They like to care for invalids and sick people. You'll often see them with somebody in a wheelchair or somebody who's sick, that take a lot of medicine, and they have to take care of them because they prize themselves in taking care of people. And that is your vulnerable narcissist. The vulnerable narcissist has to be praised for what they do. And what they do is to get people who cannot do for themselves, because they're very sensitive, they're very timid, they're easily offended. And so they'll get a woman that has a lot of kids that can't take care of themselves, and they'll get take care of the kids, or get somebody that is very, very sick, and they look like a hero because they are right there, but they are just as mean and low down, and they discard that person, and then they come back, and when they discard that person that's an invalid, they will say that they put them out, they doing everything, and you will see them doing everything, but you don't see the narcissist that's behind the door. This is Charles, is waiting for a Clubhouse to text me. Oh, okay. That should happen, because even androids can go on Clubhouse. She said, I am at peace now. I buried the relationship. This is Miss Henry. Uh-huh. She said, Miko said, narc can also be religious, be anti-God and religious atheist, picking a fight with anyone religious. Absolutely. The spirit that works with them is already antichrist. They already, if they're atheists, they don't believe in God, they don't want God. And if you're with God, they purposely sometimes choose women. The atheist ones choose religious women so they can prove that God isn't real. And what they do is get that person to love God, love them, and that person eventually stop going to church. They stop reading their Bible. They stop praying, or they stop going to the mosque. They stop going to the temple. They stop going to whatever religious form they use. They pull you out by getting you totally absorbed into them. And when they get you totally absorbed into them, then they drop you like a hammer. And the first thing they do is a smear campaign on you and you being a Christian and how fake you were. Haka said, Dr. Sadler, she said, what if a narc is so much like one of your parents? She said, how do you break away from accepting abuse? You do it with a choice. Even if your parents are abusive, your mind goes to adaptability, Haka. If you are used to abuse with your parents, but what happened is once you get that frequency of abuse, you'll start drawing abuser. If you draw an abuser to yourself and you have children, you're going to draw abusers to the children. So the children, not only are you being abused, but the children will be abused. And a narcissist will detect that. And they're going to devalue you and take you to trauma bonding. And when you go to trauma bonding, that trauma is now what's bonding you to the narcissist. And your brain is going to adapt to that trauma. And if you don't get trauma, you know, some women, when they get a good man, there was one woman who got a good man, and she said he didn't cheat. So she thought something was wrong with him. She said, if I can find a report that he's cheating, then I would think he was a man. Because she wanted him to cheat. And he didn't cheat. He was faithful to her. He loved her. So she wanted to divorce him because he didn't cheat. She got used to the frequency of abuse. And Haka, you don't want that mindset. You don't want that mindset because your parents abuse you. Now the lover, the husband, whoever you with has to abuse you. It's unacceptable under any terms. And this when gaslighting can be very effective because a narcissist knows the frequency of an abuser. Of abuse, because they know that the frequency is already set, and all they do is get in that pathway because the trail is already made, and they continue the abuse at a higher level. Christina said, she said, but I followed the Clubhouse. She said, it's for members only, and then members only private room. This means that no one, oh yeah, but this room isn't private. I got some people who came in. Trisha, did you have any problem coming in the clubhouse? Trisha, are you there?
Yes. No, I didn't.
Okay, see, it's open, so I don't know why some people are getting through and some people cannot.
I wonder if it's because I follow you.
Oh, okay. If you have to follow me first, but Christine follows me. So if you don't, yeah, if you're not following me, go follow me, and you'll be able to come into the clubhouse. Okay.
Yeah, my mom follow you, but she still can't get in.
Yeah, but I don't know why she can't get in.
It's showing. It is a lock. It is a lock on the phone. Hey, Mom.
Uh-huh.
I have a padlock to the right of the Destiny Helper room. It says it's for club members only, unless open to everyone on Clubhouse. So I
Okay, let me see
I
how
tried
that.
to invite Christine on you from YouTube.
Okay, let
Okay.
visitor.
There, Pastor Kathy's here.
She said, "Whoa, this will let everyone on Clubhouse join you." Yeah. Okay, there it goes. Okay, everybody should get in
There
now.
it is. You got it, Mom.
Okay, there you go. Thank you so much. That's why you're my narrator. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what Haka said. I tried to forgive the narc for cheating on me. She said, and I never thought I would do that. She said, I realized how much I was being abused as a child and being with the narc. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what happens when you are subject as a child to abuse? It's easy to grow up in there, Haka. And so what you got to do, you have to transform your mind. You have to know that abuse is wrong. And because when you are abused, gaslighting will really be easy to accept when you are abused, because you will think that's the normal way, because that's what you used to with your parents. It's the normal way of life. And this would keep attracting one narc after another narcissist. Those of you, anytime you have a question, raise your hand. Anytime you have a statement, that little hand at the bottom, touch that, and I will bring you on the forum. But men, and so Haka, you have to change, because I promise you, if you be with anybody, 9 times out of 10, you're only going to magnetize the frequency that you release. And right now, you're not releasing wholeness and healing, because you got to be healed. You have to be healed from parents. That's the thing about children that are born to narcissist parents or a narcissist parent. If that abuse occurred when they're small, that abuse is going to continue as they get older. And it's going to be easier and easier and easier. And every narcissist relationship prepares you for another narcissist relationship unless you break the cycle. So, Harkar, you got to break the cycle. It's a whole system that you are breaking. And Danielle said, I see you now. Okay, thank you, Danielle. So, Hakak, absolutely. Absolutely. You are being prepared to receive. She said, I'm following you also. Okay, so Cynthia, you are in. So once I remove that lock, thank you so much, Danielle. Once I remove that lock. And see, and that's why I'm talking about gaslighting. Gaslighting is like that. Gaslighting is the parent of all the other traits. When they bring gaslighting in, they're changing your mind. And when they're changing your mind, they're changing your perspective. They're changing your belief system. They're changing your dreams, your goals. They're changing your imagery, how you perceive things. And you perceive things like the narcissist. The narcissist goes in control. And once the narcissist get in control, what are they going to do? They're going to isolate you, because there's too many voices. Like the young lady said, they ran him out of town. Why? Because all of the people ganged up on them. And one thing you will notice about a narcissist, unless they are just what do you call it? Psychotic narcissist or a sociopath. If they can be very rude, but unless they are outward, they're usually very, very insecure. They look powerful, sound powerful, but some of these narcissists can be the most insecure persons that you've ever known. And especially when you're dealing with the covert, absolutely insecure. And so when you got the covert narcissists, they're very subtle. That's why the covert do a lot of undercurrent. They do things behind the scene, but they are just as vicious as the others. Most people love them. They love the covert because they're so charming. And remember the spirit of persuasion, that spirit that works with them. You may not even like them. They may not even be your type. But if you keep hanging around the narcissist, it's almost like you fall in love with them all of a sudden. You start liking them. That is love bombing. Love bombing is a medication. It's a sedative. It's a sedative against your mind. And this sedative causes you to be fogged. It don't cause you to think right. And that's why the longer you stay, you were going to leave and you noticed some things that came up that didn't seem right, but you didn't leave in time. And because you didn't leave in time, now you are caught in an emotional trap. And then when you try to leave, you are in some serious warfare. You almost feel guilty that you want to leave. And you are fighting internally to stay, even though you got this voice and you telling you to run, to get out. You don't get out. And it's like a sedative. It's like being medicated. It's like being drugged. And that's why many of you said it was like I was drugged while I was there. Kenya Boss Lady said, they have no real friends. Narcissists don't want real friends. They only want, they have traffic. They don't have real friends. They have a lot of traffic. They use freeways. They use expressways. They use routes. They use roadways. They are in motion and movement. And you got to remember the narcissist, what the narcissist does is they use fuel. And it's just like a toaster. When you do a toaster, you don't feel sorry or bad for the toaster because you know that all the toaster is going to do is fix your food, fix your toast. So you put your toast in there, and once it pop up, you move the toaster back. In the mind of the narcissist, that's all you are. And it's hard because it seems like they're having relationship. They can talk back to you. They can communicate back to you. But if you notice them and really watch them, they're mechanic. Everything is in pattern. You break their pattern, you throw them off. And when you throw off the narcissist in a pattern, the narcissists don't know what to do after that. So they gaslight. They win through gaslighting by getting you to change your own mind. Yeah. So I'm waiting for some more comments here. She said, I like that, mama. Absolutely. And those of you have narcissistic parents, it can be very, very tremendous because you have a love for your parent, but that parent is still a narcissist. Unfortunately, you're looking for love. They are not giving you love. They only do fuel. They are who they are. And once you accept that, then it's going to be a strategy for you in protecting your emotions because you're letting your guards down, saying, be mama, be daddy to me. They cannot. They cannot. That's not the core of their being. And Jasmine said, he caught me when I just got out of a relationship. See, he caught you on the rebound. She said, and got me while I was at work, and he was charming. He said he got me by the spirit of persuasion. Absolutely. She said, just to later on when I didn't want to rush to marry him. Oh, yeah. He didn't want you to get away. You were prime supply. When you are a primal supply, that narcissist want you to long term. There are some supply the narcissist want long term, but long term people have to be able to handle deep abuse. You have to be able to handle that long-term abuse. And so what they do is they start you out. Go back to the 20 characteristics of dating. Go back and look at that. I got three to five parts. And each part let you know the mind and the suspect of the narcissist, because from the time the narcissists meet you, they already got a plan. I have my spiritual son, Marcus Monroe, was dealing with it. They got a whole book on how to trap you. They got a whole book on how to break you down. They got a whole book. They go to classes. They got classes for narcissists to enter into a class, how to break down high power women. And they don't want just any women. Now the narcissists have upgraded. They want the high caliber women. They wanted a 10. Now they don't want a 10. They want a 20. If you a 10, they're counting you low ranking. And now they want a woman that is a 20. They want a woman that is career. They want a woman that is strong. They want a strong-minded woman. A narcissist usually substitute what he's not with what he can obtain. So if he's weak, he want a strong woman. If he don't have a job, he want a woman with a job. If he don't have money, savings, he want a woman that can save. So that whatever the narcissist desire, that's what he go after. And he'll go after you to pull you into his drudgery just because he needs a substitute. And remember, the narcissist mirror, and this mirror with the narcissist will reflect you, and then he'll take all the credit for what you are doing. And this is Roxy's. Roses are red. She said, this is so true. I've been with the narc husband for 10 years and 6 months. She said, until COVID-19 hit. She said, things got worse. I woke up. She said, I woke the blank up and realized that I was daily hell. The brain fog is real. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't play with a narcissist. Many people, see, you fell in love with the narcissist, and when you fell in love with the narcissist, you thought that was love. It's a one-way street. If you are found going down a one-way street or going the opposite way on the freeway, you can cause death. And you will get a ticket if the law sees you. The law of nature, the course of nature has laws, and when those laws are broken and violated, somebody got to pay. And with the narcissist, somebody got to pay. And a lot of time it's the empath, it's the person who's giving that pays. The empath pay more than any other person because they are hypersensitive, and when they are hypersensitive, the narcissists come in there with an axe and they beat their emotions down. The narcissist is after your thoughts, but what they trickle on and what they hang on is your emotion, because most of the time the supply is emotional. They live by their emotions. They live by what they feel. You say, I feel like I love you. I feel like you do this to me. Everything is I feel. So they take and make the feelings a subject of importance, and then your brain, your thoughts become secondary. But you can't go by what you feel. You got to go by what you know. And the only way to get over gaslighting is to know some things and to know that you're not losing your mind, because most of you, the narcissist, will make you feel like you're losing your mind, that what you saying is not true, that you're making up things, and now you don't even know what's real. You leave your family. You can't trust your family because the narcs have told you all of these lies, and all of these lies was just to throw you off. It was to set you off. Miss Henry said, my narcissist mom see that I don't accept manipulation anymore, and she tries to send my brother as a flying monkey. Emotionally unavailable mother, but wants a family against me. She said, but God. See, that's what I'm talking about. What is difficult and hard is when you have parents. And you know, we got the definition of parents because parents are supposed to love you. They birth you, they bring you into the world. So when you have a narcissist parent, it's very hard on the mind. It's very difficult on the mind. And that child grows up secondary in everything. So you subsidize trying to make up outside the home. If you stay with your parents and you finally move outside the home, you're going to find yourself subsidizing. And you're going to have a problem with dependency on other folk words, other folk emotion, other folks' perspective, because you can't handle rejection. Because growing up in the narcissist home, you was rejected all that time. So that rejection took and made you subjected to being rejected. And so the rejection that you hate is what you draw to yourself. You get the wrong people, you got the wrong job, and everything goes out until you make up in your mind, enough is enough. I hope this is really helping somebody here. Christina said, yep, she's a narcissist mother, through your mind for a loop because no one sees it. She said, sees you, and you can't talk to anyone about it. Yeah, you can't. Because most people, if you talk about your mom, they're going to think you're crazy. And the truth of it is, you got your mom acting like a devil, a pure devil, a she devil. And you living with that she devil in the house. And some of you have been even physically violated, not just mentally, the mental violation, the physical violation, and then you're embarrassed with your children. And some parents, if you bring home a boyfriend, they would try to take the boyfriend away from you or do a smear campaign with the boyfriend, especially if you are the scapegoat. And so you grow up like that, and you got a spirit of abandonment that you need to deal with because you feel abandoned and you're afraid of being abandoned. And so what you do is get people who going to reject you, who's going to abandon you, and then to make up for it, you become a people pleasers. You know, those Christians, those of you who got that are Christian, Joyce Myers have a book out about pleasing people. And you can be people addicted. Some of you all are people addicted. You're addicted to your predator. And if you don't have a predator, you hunt down a predator because you don't feel that it's equal. You don't feel that you're important until someone abused you. Like the young lady who said, my husband is not cheating, so I need a divorce, because a real man would cheat. That's not what a real man is. Let me see. And look what Boss Lady said. She said, I try to figure out if my mom's a narc. She said, when I was being abused, I called my mom and told her I need help. She said, I needed help. Died to abuse. She put insurance on me because she thought I would die, but let me drown. Wow. Wow. It's a lot to think about. The next time we come on, I'm going to go over the 9 traits. Let's go back to basics. We're going to go over the 9 traits. And it doesn't matter, male, female, black, white, Chinese, Russian, Palestinian, whatever. There is a manual. And then it's the narcissists are upgrading. Because the specimen is upgrading, the supply upgraded, the narcissist has to upgrade. And that's why I was telling you, they got classes out for the elite. To capture the elite woman, you have to go in and break her down. You don't give her, and one of the rules in the book, don't give them what they want. You never give them what they want. And so you make that woman think that you're going to do something, and then you elongate the excuse of why you don't do it. And then you make sure that you're good in bed. You make sure that you're charming. You make sure you wear the best. Then you start out getting little gifts. You give her a gift every now and then so she think you got something, and you have nothing. And then you pull down the hammer on her. Those 20 traits that I did that took 5 videos. You got to go back and look at those traits, because some of you women, men are after you. They're looking for you. They have you in a book. And the stronger you are, the more powerful you are, the more these hunters are after you. And they pick up your scent and they won't back down. It's just like if you got a kimono dragon. The Komodo dragon know once he bite you, the parasite from his saliva is going to get in your system. And you may not die right then. It may take you days to die, for the animal to die. He follow that animal because he know that that animal is going down. Once you refuse all red flags, sometimes you can't identify them, but once you refuse those red flags, that saliva, that parasitic word, that parasitic experience gonna get in your system and it's gonna bring you down. The narcissists know that it's only a matter of time before they are able to move in on you emotionally and trap you emotionally and give your mind emotionally. And then when you have children, they know you trapped because it's going to be hard for you to leave your baby. And even though you know you're going through hell, it's still hard for you to leave your child. So before this happened, go to my video, the dating characteristic and relationship of a narcissist. Listen to all 5 of those videos. Some of you got the traits right in your marriage. It's beyond dating, but you will see them, and you got to get the strength because you can be there for 33 years. You can be there for 50 years. It can go on and on. As long as you subject yourself to it, it will continue. She said, Christine, she said, right now I'm going through that now with my mom. She said she makes me look like I treat her so bad at church. And when she provoked me, of course. See, that's a form of gaslighting. That's a form of gaslighting to portray something that isn't so they can accuse you. And they're going to accuse you because it's the older mom and you're the younger daughter. How come? And you know who they're going to believe? The mom. They're not going to believe you. But see, that church right there, I wouldn't have stayed there anyway with the abuse you went through with your husband. Excuse me. Hope 2020 said, good evening, Destiny Half Lunch. She said, I'm late. She said, I can't wait until these type of abusers are forced to register as emotional abuser, just like a sex offender has to register. Princess, excuse me, I wish that could be so, but it's not. You have to register it. You have to be the law, the court of law that said that it stops here. You have to be the stop sign instead of a yield sign. Because some people touch the brake and yield and keep on going. They never really yield. The narcissists never yield. And the narcissists hate stop signs. They hate stop signs. They won't stop. They won't. They will not. It will continue as long as you allow it. And sometimes you have to cause a serious injury to back off. But when you do that, you got to have a plan in mind because the retribution from a narcissist is tremendous and it's horrific because I mean there's no mercy. They don't have mercy, they don't have love, they don't have compassion. It's a superficial compassion. And when the narcissists act as if they're crying and if they're sorry, they're not sorry. Then right after that, they're right back into display, full display of who they are. Christina said, my mother triggered me after telling me to stop in front of everyone. She said her snoopy, uppity voice says, who responds like that? You're not right. She said, you need a mental evaluation. I wanted to choke her. Of course you did. And she wanted you to do it too so everybody could see you. And then they will call you the abuser. And if she ever called the law because you got out of order, that goes on record. So anytime she abuse you, no, it's on record how you abuse her, and she will have a witness. The best thing to do, sometimes you got to go no contact with your own parents. You got to leave them alone unless they're some, and I know persons, sometimes you may be the only child. Your parents are elderly. Do what you can and get out of there because you will be hurt. And they can even accuse you of something that is not true. Because if they gaslight, you know they're just born liars. And Kenya Boss Lady said, I have 2 children. I slept in the car with my kids. She never responded when I told her I needed to come home. She said she had to ask my dad, but my dad told me she never told him anything. She said, I'm shaking my head. So are we. Hakka said, She said, I made up my mind about the church. I tried to believe that I was around good people, but they showed me how they felt about me. Absolutely. They showed you that with your husband. They showed you that they believed him above you and they supported him who was abusing you. And so Haka said, she said, they whisper and soft things to upset you. And then when you respond, they play the innocent victim. See, gaslighting, all of that is a form of gaslighting. We think gaslighting is when they remove things, but gaslighting is false accusation, trying to convince people that they're real. And they try to change your character. They try to change people's perspective of you. And when people think that you're terrible, guess what? They're no longer looking at the narcissist. They're looking at you. So the narcissists divert all attention away from them onto you. And so now you're like a spotlight. If people look at you hard enough, they're going to find something wrong. Yeah. Wow. And this is how, cause she said, my mom was the first one to go on a smear campaign about me in our church when I was defending her and keeping things she was doing between us. See, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. What happens with a narcissist? They don't care about you. It's about them. Those of you at any time on Clubhouse, raise your hand. A narcissist would cheat and lie. But whatever you take, that's what you're going to get more of. Remember this. Whatever you take, you get more of that. Seeds grow out of themselves. So what if you have an apple seed? The apple seed is only going to grow apples. It doesn't matter if you want plums, pears, you're only going to get apples. And most of you, out of a seed of abuse, you're going to get more abuse. It ain't going to ever be right because the whole seed is the DNA of itself. And the DNA of itself is what it's going to produce 100% of. So when you get abuse, that DNA that coated that seed is going to give you more abuse because that's what it is. And a lot of times we fantasize or go into an alternate reality to think people are going to change because we do them good and we care. When you look like a toaster and you put the toast in the toaster and it pops out, it's done. That's the way it is with the narcissist with fuel. Once you give them the fuel, it's done. That's why they can change in an instant. You don't know what went wrong, and all of a sudden they just act crazy out of the blue. You know, you done did everything for them. One minute they love you, the next minute they hate you. One minute they're praising you, the next minute they're cursing you. One minute they told you they don't want to be bothered, the next minute they're raping you. One minute they tell you you're a good parent, the next minute they're calling CPS saying that you're the worst parent in the world. It's almost like they're bipolar. These cluster B personalities, they shift like the wind. They shift like the wind. And when they shift like the wind, you have to shift with the wind or you get caught in the wind. And if you get caught in the storm of the narcissist, you will get blown away. And sometimes it's the debris that is coming out that is the most dangerous, not even the storm itself. Hope 20 said, yes. She said, yes, so. It is so. Phyllis says, sometimes you just have to seek one-on-one narcissist counselor, how to deal with narcissism in the immediate family. You do. You do. Because it's hard. That immediate family is difficult. Because if the family needs you, they expect for you to be there. But sometimes, listen to me, NC may be the best peace release that you have. Because you take your children through it. You know, some of you take your kids and you think mama's going to be mama. Well, she's a mean mom. She's probably a real mean grandmother unless you got a golden child. And if you got a golden child, she's going to take over that golden child life. And if the golden child don't want to do what mom say, that golden child now is a scapegoat because mom, grandmom get what they want. And so you never leave your children with them when you know what you're getting. And sometimes you have to just go in see. There's no other reason. There's no other explanation. There's no other excuse. There's no other plan. There's no other nothing. You just have to protect your best interest. Because when something go wrong and they do the smear campaign, all the neighbors, all the families are looking at you. And when they look at you, they're going to look at your children. Yeah, Kenya lady said, she said, it's really hard to accept that my mom made me this way because she's all I got. She said, I have no friends. My family are all narcs and have always alienated me. It hurts. Of course it does. Of course it does. Sometimes the truth hurt. Reality hurt. But you have to deal with it. It's not your fault that your mom is a narcissist. It's not your fault that your dad is a narcissist. And then some of you who have the unfortunate event to have both narcissist parents, it's not your fault. And you cannot take the blame for that. You cannot take the blame for what you're born into. And what is really tremendous is when two narcs get together and have an empath. They birth an empath, the highest sensitive person in the world that lives in the house with two narcissists that feel everything, know everything, experience everything, and they don't know who they are. That can be crushing. A lot of young empaths become suicidal, very suicidal, where they want to kill themselves because empaths have a natural nature to want to help, to a natural nature to want to rescue, and they can't rescue their parent, and their parents is clobbering them, especially when the narc pick up that the child is an empath. They go after the fuel of that child, and because they know that child is sensitive, they watch your child grow up, and that child's very sensitive, and you don't know that your parents are narcs, so you start talking, saying what you feel, what you sense. That drives them batty. So they go after you with both guns. She said, Haka said, my mom begged me to have a conversation about what's been going on between us. So I agreed. She kept avoiding it. But when she did speak, she gave me insincere apologies and excused her behavior. Of course. Roses are red. She said, my soon-to-be ex-husband broke my nose, two black eyes, knotted my entire face while accusing me of cheating on him, blaming me for his torture against me. And God spoke to me to leave for good. So, yeah, absolutely. I will leave too. You know, you need teeth to chew on, and he trying to knock all of them out. I will leave. Know that you don't deserve that. You deserve so much better. But remember the trauma bonding. And especially if you was raised up in trauma, you can handle the trauma. And that's probably why you end up as a primary supply, because of what you can handle. Because if you look at the 20 characteristics that I place in dating, you were being tested while you were dating. They did things to see what you excuse them. They did things so when they say I'm sorry, to see what you take them back. And then if you took them back when they didn't show up, and when they lied and you called them in the lie and you excused the lie, now they're doing it in the marriage. And when you got this overt narcissist, oh, they'll fight. They will fight you in public. They don't care the pain they cause. They just want to cause pain. They are pain creators and they are soul hunters. They hunt your soul down. Even living in the same house with you, they hunt your soul down and they leave you no reprieve. They cause you to be emotionally claustrophobic. They cause you to be psychologically hampered and hindered, and they drive tractors and leave trailers, tractors, trails through your mind because they make a pathway for them to keep coming. And every time you resist, they throw down and pull down your level of resistance. Jasmine said, I would rather be by myself while I heal emotionally and mentally. She said, so I don't attract another narc. Yeah, you got to demagnetize. You got to be magnetized, because that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to attract another narcissist, because when that's the frequency, that's the frequency. If I wanted to go to AM 1140 and I turn on AM 1140, whatever frequency come to 1140, that's all I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna get 1245, because I'm not on that frequency. I'm only gonna get 1140. And many of you are on 1140 abuse, 1140 torment, and what you really want is 1240. But until you turn that frequency, you're not going to get it. And most of you are on the road. When your parents had done that, you got to go to healing. When you get a counselor, they have to be knowledgeable of being of narcissism. And we all can be narcissistic, but NPD, the actual personality. And then some of you that have went through trauma, you're dealing with CPTSD and PTSD. Many of you are just traumatized. You don't, it's like you've been in a war zone and you've never been in a war, but your brain show TBI. Your brain is showing damage from trauma, and you are suffering from that. Some of you, like the young lady, he jumps on her and beats her and break her nose. Come on now, come on. It's time. It's out of here. It's out of here. Because if you will break my nose, you would hit me in my skull. You'll break other parts of my body. And if you got a family, you're going to have to be able to take care of your family. You don't want, by the time you leave the narcissist, you're so physiologically broken down until you can't do nothing. And the narcissist is going to go to another supply. He's going to do the same thing at another supply. And he's probably doing it while he's with you. A narcissist refuse. They bore easy. They tire easy. Their attention span is lightweight. So they cannot stay with just one person. They are everywhere. And that's dangerous too, because you don't want to be sleeping with someone and they're sleeping all over town. They are all over town. And narcissists are convinced that they are capable of having sex all over the world and not getting a disease. And if they get a disease, they won't tell you. They will not tell you. They will sleep with you, then accuse you of giving them the disease. That's what they do. Remember, gaslighting is when you take another person's mind and you fog it up and you accuse them of things that is not true to convince them of a non-reality to drive them to the point of insanity. The narcissists, when they use gaslighting, their intent, the ultimate end, is to drive you insane, where you don't know what's true or not. Kelly said, I haven't dated since my divorce. She said a few years ago for healing reason. She said, my heart goes out to everyone living in this nightmare. Come on. We're all here saying the same thing. And we've not met each other. We've not met each other. So those of you who are thinking, if I stay, he'll change. If I stay, he will. If I stay, no, baby. If you stay, you're going to get more of what you got, except it's going to get worse. Because the longer you stay, all the pain graduate. All the pain graduate until you got an inner turmoil. You now start fighting you, because you start saying, why am I here? Why am I staying? Why am I putting up with this? And now you don't only have the narcissist, you got your inner man, your mind is fighting against you. So from inner turmoil to outer turmoil. And then he's constantly coming at you. Now he's deteriorating what's around you, because he's creating flying monkeys that's going to agree with him. Christina said, it's sad because only we know. She said, my friend picked up on it. She said, when my mother said, you don't need to be sung happy birthday to. She said, you are too old. Have your friends to sing. Wow. That is really something. And Kelly said, they break you down. Father, the more boundaries you put up, the more they enjoy trying to break them down. And if you can't, they do physical violence on you. You have to get out for safety and fast. Absolutely. They won't stop at anything, because after a while, you start reflecting who they are. And see, when you start reflecting through your rejection, through you pulling away, and you don't talk, you go silent, you go to. I did a video when the supplier had enough. Please go to that video and do the 20 dating characteristic and relationship of a narcissist. Please go to those videos. It's 5 of them. Just take time to listen. I think the one that's the longest can be over 26 minutes. Listen to those videos, because some of you are going through this and you need to protect yourself. You need to save yourself. You need to protect yourself and your children. It doesn't matter how long. I have people who've been married to the narcissist for 40 years and they still going through the same thing. And now they're older and they can't do what they used to do because the narcissist done took up their stronger years. But God is able to give you the years that the locust, cankerworm, and palmer worm has taken from you. He's able to give that back to you. But you got to have the years left in order to live, because the longer you stay and then the more independent, more dependent you are on the narcissist, the harder it is to leave, because you don't think you can make it on your own. You don't think you can do it on your own. But you are being tore up mentally and psychologically, that when you do leave, you've been with the narcissist for 40 years, but it's going to take another 60 years to get you past the trauma, unless God do a miracle, and that can happen too, get you past the trauma. Usually recovery take more time than the abuse, because remember, there's 13 words toward every one violent, indignant word that the narcissist has spoke to you, and you deserve so much more. You deserve so much more. And what you would do if you don't watch yourself, you'll start settling. You'll start selling for what you can get and not for what you can really have. Because you can really have something if you don't settle. But most of you are settling. You are settling for what the narcissists give you. And that's all the narcissists going to give you. Most narcissists will be with your friends, your family. They don't care. They don't care. Long as their needs get met. Wow. Harkot said, it's like they don't want you to feel good about anything. I know, because it makes them miserable. And Phoenix 33 said the narcissist is a risk taker, unprotected sex all over the place. They will risk everything, including your life. And Phoenix 33 said, you stay in a fight or flight state 24/7. Absolutely. Kyle said, Kylie said, I'll agree, plus freeze. Absolutely. Every time you hear the car, every hormonal level in your body is off balance. Your brain level has been traumatized. Your breathing, your heart rate is off. I mean, and when they come, you freeze. You freeze because you know they're there. And then when they enter the house, you ready to run, because you can see it in their eyes. They're going to act a fool. And you know what? Your prediction is right. They act a fool over nothing. And then those, the lower ranking that fights, after they see the blood, they ready to make up. You're like, what? You just beat me and you want to do what? They're out of their mind. They're not in their right mind toward you. And that's the way they think. That's their core action. Yeah, my moderator said we all deserve victory over narcissist abuse. Right, moderator? Haka said, I haven't seen a happy marriage. That's terrible. And Phyllis, 3 years narc free, doing better now. Before I met the narc, she said, no negative people in my life. I am my best friend. God is the answer. Phyllis, you are so right. And Danielle said, we celebrate your continual victory. Absolutely. Christine said, they are sick. Yeah, and that's an understatement. She said, trapped with pregnancies and gaslight you, that you trap them. It's crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, listen to me. Gaslighting is terrible. You are so powerful. You are more. You remember Lion King? He told Simba, you are more than what you've become. The narcissist has degraded you in every way possible. And when he get you out in public, he makes sure you look like you're the problem. So when he does things, people won't look at him. He's charming. You got an outside narcissist and you got an inside narcissist. The outside man or woman is charming. Everybody love him. And they're raising their eyebrows because women are thinking, I wished I had a man like that. If only I can find a man like that. And you were like, you don't have to find one, take this one. But they think something is wrong with you. Hey, guys, we are here as a family. We are here as a team. And we're lifting your hands up. We're lifting your heart up. We're sewing every place you hurt. We're sewing it up. We won't let you bleed out here. We won't let you drown in your own pain. We won't let you drown in the blood that he calls to draw from you, because he is foolish and never know the value. She is foolish and she will never know the value of you. You are stronger than what you think. You say, I can't make it without him. You're dying with them. How can you not make it without him? When death is because you're with me, when loving you is killing me, it's time to break away. There is a freedom. You have to decide where you are, where you want to be, because every day that you live through is one day behind that will never come again. And every year that you live through takes you to another year of getting older. And when you get older, how old do you want to be before reality set in? God never meant for you to be abused, wounded, walked on. You're not a doormat. And no matter how they treat you like a toaster, you're not. You're a woman with feelings. You're a man with feelings. And God loves you unconditionally. But it's up to you to love yourself. Phyllis said, thank you. Prayers for all. Peace be still. Haka said she haven't seen a good, and that is really bad. Haka, that is really bad that you've not seen a good marriage. I've seen plenty of them. I've seen when a man loves a woman and when she loves him back. I have seen the energy of that. I have been around the energy of that. When they love each other and they give themselves to each other, it is magnificent. It's wonderful. And it can happen because you can heal. And God wants to heal you everywhere you hurt, every place you hurt, every place you wounded. We don't want to put a Band-Aid. We want to give you the healing salve. We want you to heal because the truth of it is everything you've been through is a classroom for somebody else. And you can build them and you can strengthen them. And you can do it. You can make it. And life is huge and it has your name on it. Why don't you try enjoying it? Haka, I pray that you will enjoy life and that God will show you a marriage that is fantabulous. It is beautiful. That God will let your eye gate see that and to know that one day you can have that. And go to a church that love you, is not filled with narcissists. That's not every church. And God is going to show you his church that loves you and care for you. And those of you that have spent this time with me on Clubhouse, if you have any question, raise your hands and I will answer any question you have. So I'm going to give you a chance to think about it. That little hand at the bottom on top of that pad, push that hand and I can address anything you have. I'm telling you, life is huge. Life is big and life is for you. Jasmine said, I have PTSD and I sometimes think he's still in my house. Sometimes it's hard to sleep, always thinking someone is in the back of me. My stomach pain is just starting to go away because it's 7 months. no contact. Wow. You're welcome, Haka. You know what, Jasmine? I pray that God will show you the beauty of who you are. I pray that God will show you how wonderful you are. I pray that your body will totally recover from all evidence of trauma. And I pray that your mouth will be the pen of a ready writer. I pray for every woman you'll speak to, every man you'll speak to, that will hear your voice and will hear your pain, and it will be the answer to their life. They will understand that they are not crazy and nothing is wrong with them. Jasmine, I pray your healing. Just stay free and stay no contact. When God brings you out, baby girl, stay out. Don't go back. No matter how they hoover, don't go back. I think Christina, what you say, Christina, it's been a year and he's still trying to hoover. I had one lady, he went after her for 2 years and then he finally gave up. Sometimes they can be very persistent. Christina said, I feel you completely. It causes anxiety. She said, and they feel like they are always going to break in. She said, I feel that. I feel you, girl. Absolutely. Haka said, I feel the same way, like he's somewhere lurking. And no, it isn't there. Because your mind, your memory, your memory. This is why we're talking to you. This is why I'm here. This is why I take time out of my schedule. No matter how tired I am, no matter how full my schedule is, I'm going to take time for you because I want you free. Because you can be. Because you will be. Because that's your lot. Nobody has the right to tear your life down like they're your God. And they're going to decide how much of it you enjoy. No, it don't work that way. I'm going to enjoy my whole life. And so will you. And I hate that you feel that way. Jasmine, there's freedom for you. And God is going to liberate you. Haka, Christina, God is a liberator. Keep coming to these lives. Keep listening to the videos. Go to my video, 20 characteristics and relationship of the narcissist. Listen to all 5 of them. Then go when the supply has had enough. Keep these videos going. They're going to keep strengthening you and strengthening you. The more you hear them, the stronger you get. God wants to do that. God wants to enrich you. God wants to expand you. In your life, you have a right to live. You have a right to grow. You have a right to breathe without you in your house thinking somebody's in the corner. He's going to come out the door, or he's going to, when I wake up, he'll be standing over me. You know, and when you're cooking, you're turning around. Every little noise, you're jumping. Your nerves are shocked. No, you're not going to live like that. That's not going to be like that. She said monitoring and familiar spirits need to be rebuked and revoked every single time. And rebuke means to render totally helpless with no way of recovery. And once you rebuke those spirits, there's no way of recovery. But you got to believe it. You got to know it. And you got to trust it. That's why you have to trust yourself. When the narcissist say, I didn't say that, didn't do that, everybody around you think that. No, they don't. All of those are lies. All of those is just to convince you that you're wrong. And guess what? You're not. She said, I feel like I saw one of his friends on the way home. Yeah, and you probably did. She said, yes, still hoovering from the phones of others. She said, he needs to go somewhere and leave me alone. I'll be outside and feel like he's watching me from the other side. And you know how these men think. So you get worried. Do you see the damage? Christina's been out for over a year. That's what they want. That because that set them up for the Hoover. They make sure they can come back. They build a pathway. but we cleanse the pathway. We remove all pathway. We loose the anointing. We loose light in every dark area that you can see and that you can experience. We remove the fog from your mind. We remove the accusations that is inside. We remove the doubt that is inside of you, and we release clearance so you can have a clear mind, a clear way of thinking, and we release the boldness and the confidence on the inside of you for you to know that you deserve the best and God wants you to have it. It is your right and you will have it. Hello, Custer B, how are you? Well, you know what? This has been, as always, thank you so much for those of you who came on Clubhouse. I really, really thank you so much. So those of you on Clubhouse, you didn't have any questions. I want to thank you for participating with us. And those of you on YouTube, I love you so much. You know I come on live right after Bible study every Thursday night. Let's meet again. And then I come on. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Push that bell every time I come on, because sometimes I come on through the week and I come on different times of the day. But when I come on, you will be notified and you push that bell and you will be alerted when I upload new content or when I come on live. Live is powerful. All of these words, you see how you all encourage each other. That's why I love you so much. Roses are red said, thank you, Destiny Helper, for your voice of enlightenment and encouragement. Father, God, and Heavenly Mother led me to you. Oh, bless your heart. Gaslighting is the most mind-destructive damage narc can do, absolutely. Much love to you, Dr. Sadler, and chat. Thank you so much. I love you to life. Thank you once again, Clubhouse, for being with me. I love you to life. And Clubhouse, I'll see you on the next video. Shanti and Ernest, congratulations. Those lovebirds are now husband and wife, and I pray the best for them. Thank you so much for joining us. I love you to life, and I will see you in the next room. God bless. All right, y'all, we are off Clubhouse. We are off Clubhouse. I'm telling you, this has been amazing. I want you to hear it from me. I love you, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you hanging in there, fighting, helping others. Thank you so very much. All right, my time ends here. Those of you, you want to write me, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Please feel free to write me and I will respond to you. We're going to have a conference, Empath Conference is either going to be in September or October. I will let you know. Please be on guard because I want you to register for the Empath Conference that we have every year. And I want to minister to you empaths, and I want to minister to you who are coming out of the relationship or still in the relationship. Please register. I'm going to have the flyer up in another few weeks, and you'll be able to register online. I love you to life, and I'm hugging you, and I'm kissing you, and I'm wiping tears away for those of you who cry in the night and in the secret and think nobody sees it or hear you. We hear you, and we believe in you. All right. I love you. I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much, Cindy C. God bless you. Haka, Syra, thank you so much. And all of you that are on this video, thank you for joining me and for loving me enough to support me and to undergird me. And I love you enough to keep praying for you. And I believe it's going to be well with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd say good night to you. I love you so much. Be at peace. Good night, everybody.